Hey, deserving listeners. Happily Ever After, 90 Day Fiancé, Ed and Liz. Let's see what happens.
You look great.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go. I miss you. I do miss you.
It's weird seeing you. How much animosity I always have had towards you. It's like the second I'm with you, it's like we're back to our old self.
Okay, catch you up. The rest of the season didn't involve the two of them because they stayed apart until the reunion, and they are staying in a house together. We've seen this before, right, in a previous Ed and Liz season. I think, was it Happily Ever After, and Angela was there, right? But I think they all stay in the same hotel, from my memory, right? And now they're all staying in the same Airbnb kind of thing. So that's interesting. And I kind of like that idea because it just gives more opportunity, I suppose. And I guess from a viewer standpoint, it gives more stuff to watch. But anyway, it kind of adds another sort of reality show, like the reality shows that involved people staying in the same house for a few days. Anyway, but okay. So it's 6 months later. They haven't seen each other in 6 months. And she just said that I've had so much animosity, but then I see you, and then that all kind of melts away. Again, I've been talking about differentiation. What would be the goal? If she had a goal coming into this, would she say, there's a chance that he'll be nice and I will have my heartstrings pulled or something like that. What do I want to do in that scenario? Do I even want to do this? Because it's reality TV, but it's also her life. Would it be advisable to do this? No. What does she get out of staying in the same house with him, right? So there's that. And of course, right? And are they going to get back together again? I have been, even in light of being apart for 6 months, they've been apart for longer. And at a reunion, they got back together. That was a few years ago, right? So now, who am I to say from the outside? I'm imagining most people watching would hope that they wouldn't get back together. But, what do we know? And do we even know that the alternative would be optimal or other people would be optimal? The guess would be yes, but who knows? And we can't judge from the outside. But I will say, as a citizen, I hope for the two of them, but I guess mainly Liz, but really for the two of them, that they don't do this again, because it's just going to happen all over again. So why? It's just going to, you'll have a couple good weeks, and then something will trigger him, and then you're off to the races. So there's that. There's also a possibility that they'll stay broken up, but they're just being nice. And there's nothing wrong with having moments of yearning or even entertaining the fantasy of, well, maybe we would get back together, but then ultimately down the line saying, no. I'll always have a place in my heart for that person, but ultimately, so, but watching this, it's but of course, they have a pattern. It's the same over and over.
I know it's always like that.
At the very least, it's good for both of them to have another conversation about breaking up. And she's seeing a side of him that she didn't see when they were breaking up the first time, that he's sad and has feelings. This could help her with her narrative about what happened. If she doesn't see this, it could feel like he never cared, or he didn't care in the moment at the very least. And now that potentially is able to be rewritten, because I imagine he did care. I've been supposing or assuming that based on evidence and also just based on typical human feelings. And this could be reparative, a bit of closure, a bit of future narrative management.
Yeah.
we have so much love for each other, but we also have so much hate for each other. It's just like, I don't get it. I don't understand. But I'm glad you're here. How are you feeling about the tell-all? I'm here to support you. I want you to know that.
It's notable, the pattern, right? It's easy to think that when people say things, even when it seems genuine, or it is genuine, that we're watching something. Okay, I'll just tell you what the reaction I'm having is I'm tempted to be kind of sucked into the content of what they're both presenting, but there's another part of me that is stepping away and saying, this is just part of their pattern. And I'm not saying it's an abusive pattern. There's other patterns. It could be an abusive pattern, but the pattern I'm thinking of at this point anyway is just the ebbs and flows of their relationship, and their pulling away and coming back together. And I imagine a lot of people have had someone in their life that was like this, and there seems to be like a magnetic pull, even an addiction of sorts against their better judgment. They seem to have that, right? They're exhibiting that. So there's that. He said, what did he say? Well, so it doesn't really matter what he said. The point is that we're witnessing a moment in time in their pattern. The difference is they don't live in the same town. Before, at the reunion when they got back together, they were still living in San Diego, the two of them. So it was much easier for them to get back together at that point, right? Whereas in this scenario, he is saying that things are working out for him in Arkansas, so that is more pessimism for the two of them to get back together, right? And it sounds like she's doing okay in San Diego, so that could be the one thing that could prevent them. Because if they were living in the same town, I would almost guarantee they would get back together. They might still.
The world to see it different, Ed.
That's what I wanted the last tell-all. That's what I wanted at the last resort.
I know, but in my defense...
Just stop.
I heard something. Looks like someone is here.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Liz says, just stop, in my defense. And it's so interesting that Liz seems to see things pretty clearly. She has an awareness of the pattern and his defensive ways, his rigid ways. And in that moment, she's like, oh, I know where this is headed because I've been here so many times, way more often than we've witnessed, I'm guessing, and has a clear way and even a kind, light-hearted way of managing it, right? So it's interesting. So how weird we are as humans that we can both see the problem and dive in anyway.
I should be Lauren.
We're in it.
Oh, baby, are you ready? Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to call you that.
What'd you call me?
I accidentally called you baby.
More anxiety for me as a citizen. But yeah, it's going to happen, right?
Back at church, I help usher on every Sunday. I'm not dating anybody. Having a relationship for me right now is probably the furthest thing from my mind.
For someone who says that I'm not dating, I'm not looking, you were on a dating app within 1 month of me leaving.
Oh. All right, let's take a little break here. The rest of this video will be for members. Members of the YouTube channel. So become a member if you want to watch the rest of this episode and hundreds, I think hundreds of member exclusive episodes. And otherwise, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.